So thank you, Malika, for having me here in this surgical course. And out of all the conditions, epiretinal membrane is relatively a easier job, considering the top which you presented, submacular and refractive macular hole. Comparatively, it is comparatively. So all of us know about this latest classification, IVTS classification, which I will not go through. So we remember these three membranes which are there. One is the hyaloid, one is the epiretinal, one is the ILM. So all of us are fond of removing any kind of membranes, whether required or not. We tend to remove all the membranes. And we can easily differentiate on OCT because of the refractile properties of ERM throws a reddish or a stronger signal. So I'll just show one video which has a couple of conditions. So this is a bent MVR blade. So important is to identify the edge. Here the hyaloid has already been taken out. So identify the edge of the membrane. So once the edge is visible and you are in the right kind of plane, safe plane, then I think it becomes very easy to either do it with the needle only or take a forceps and peel it very gently. Your eye should always be on the retina once you are pulling with the help of a forceps, because you should not cause any iatrogenic break or bleeding, because some of them may be adherent or may not come out so easily. So in this patient, it was not much adherent and the underlying macula was pretty healthy. So it came out pretty easily. So this was one patient where this was diabetic membrane. So here I didn't stain, and this because the edge was visible, so I just took it from the temporal side and brought it towards the nasal side, and this came away pretty easily. And this is another diabetic patient where a lot of epiretinal membranes there. The diabetic membranes always behave differently than the idiopathic membranes which we see. Here there are multiple attachments, most of them are vascular, so you have to be very, very careful. So a lot of times nowadays we can get away with these cutters only, small gauge cutters. All these membranes can be shaved away, and even this blood can be taken out in these patients. So very easily then you can keep them with the cutter. And then laser all these diabetics. The same patient where membrane was removed all across the macula. This is silicon-filled eye, highly myopic eye, and this was the only eye. So there had a post-operative proliferation. So we did this membrane removal under the oil only. Sometimes I'll go after oil removal, sometimes under the oil if the edge is visible. So here, with the help of this Ackard forceps, gently grasp it, very careful because very close to the macula. And if it comes very easily, I will do it without the oil removal. If there's some difficulty, then I'll remove the oil and take out this membrane. So this was another patient. He had a big epiretinal membrane and also a dry RMD. So my technique in such removal is that after we remove the hyaloid, I do an airflow exchange and try to make it dry posterior pole. And once it is dry, with the help of this backlash needle, green tip, and I will inject a 1 or 2 drops of this trypan blue or reti blue. Actually, not trypan blue, reti blue, and wait for a couple of minutes. And then under air itself, I will aspirate out the excess of this before starting the infusion cannula. And once this is out, then you start the fluid. Take this 25 gauge MVR blade and tease away, identify the plane and try to tease this membrane. And once you see the edge, then take this forceps. And generally, most of these membranes will come in one single sheet, and the sheet is generally bigger than what is initially visible. And go to the base after you have taken part of it, then again leave it, go again to the base, and then peel the entire membrane for it to come in a single sheet. So this was another patient where same technique, 1 drop of this reti blue dye, and then again MVR blade. Here the membrane was beyond the posterior pole also, beyond the arcades, relatively more densely adherent, but you have to be patient because identifying edge is very, very important. And then tease away very slowly, gradually, and this was strongly adherent. At this time, you do get palpitations once it should not, because iatrogenically tear away the tissue or the vessel, because you can have some bleeding there. Fortunately, it was a huge, extensive membrane going all across and across. So fortunately, it came out pretty easily. This was a patient who had a RD also, a secondary reg RD, because this patient had some vasculitis prior to that. Again, stained with a similar technique of Reti-Blue, identify this edge, and once the edge comes out, then it becomes a relatively easier job, provided you keep your eyes on the retina and don't blink too much at this time, because it may cause an issue. Yeah. So then I trimmed this membrane because this cord-like structure could not come out completely. The ERM ultimately I had to trim. This was another patient who had so we used this tricot to peel away the hyaloid, and then after this is done, airflow exchange, then Reti-Blue, then 25 gauge MBR blade. The difference here was that this membrane was very sticky, and I did not have the courage to pull. So what I did, I took the help of a cutter here. So I tried to make a cauliflower like from all across, make a multi-layered kind of stuff, going temporal, then nasal, then, because if you see the underlying retina, as soon as you take the forceps and pull, it seems that is also getting elevated and becoming white tissue. Notice that reflects here on the undersurface. So go very slow, go to the periphery, try to tease away all the edges, because it was not coming so easily. You see this retina here getting pulled up. So then came back to the superior part, and sorry. And once most of it was done like this, so I took the cutter. Then maybe whether it's required or not, but it made the job slightly atraumatic. So these were a couple of patients. This was one patient more where, again, you see this 3-in-1 kind of surgery, as I showed before also. You take tricot, peel off the hyaloid, signet ring formation. In this patient, we had done the cataract surgery because a lot of these macular membranes, we take out the cataract in the same sitting. One drop, couple of drops of Reti-Blue here, remove excess. Here again, the membrane is very densely adherent, and there was the appearance of a lamellar kind of macular hole here. So after this irregular kind of brittle membrane was removed, the surface of the retina was not as smooth I would have liked it to be. One last couple of seconds only.
So take your time, we have time.
Yeah. So therefore, after this, I injected BBG. So tricot followed by Reti-Blue, then BBG, then this ILM removed. I removed this ILM also, and try to create a flap for all across. So sometimes you will peel, sometimes you will create a flap, depending on the size of the hole. So fortunately, this came out very nicely. Sometimes once you are removing this ILM, you will notice that ERM removal itself has removed the ILM partly. So this was the visual results of this patient where we did cataract plus all the 3 removals. And fortunately for me, after a couple of months, improved from 624 to 6/6. Meaning thereby removal of these epiretinal membranes generally have a good visual prognosis, although the contour may take months or sometimes close to a year to come back to normal. So combined cataract surgery plus macular surgery in these patients tends to give the best kind of results. So remember, we can't do without tricot, Reti-Blue, and BBG dye. ILM peel, sometimes I will not insist also in pure ERMs. If the surface of retina is pretty smooth, I will try to remove ILM, but I will not persist at the cost of damage to the underlying retina. And even global trends say that peeling in ERM surgery is not advantageous. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you for the opportunity.